you're heading to the village, right? Tiernan should let you in. Take this medicine to my father, will you? Goban is a loud man. You shouldn't have trouble finding him.
I'll take it.
I can't promise that talking to him will be any fun. Come to me afterwards.
Your father lives in the village?
Ah, he used to serve too. In fact, he was the builder before me. Now he's just an old fart angry at the world.
But a father is a father, right? We may hate each other, but as long as I can help him, I will. Hence the medicine.
What's wrong with your father?
If Haber doesn't know, then I don't either. So we keep trying.
Why won't Tyrion let you in?
Because he received orders not to let any keeper through without a pass. And I don't have one. I've already used mine. Guess what I used it on? That's right, bringing medicine to my father. When that Egypt gets an order, he's like a priest who stumbled into an orgy. He's got a stick up his ass. Nothing gets through him.
Are the keepers allowed to have wives and children?
Not all keepers have been here their entire life, you know? He got me before he joined the Horse. Serves me right for wanting to find him, stupid son of a bitch. If only I knew what it would entail.
Do you regret becoming a keeper?
I don't know. Following my old man here was all I ever wanted. Never saw myself as anything else. Tried picturing myself as a husband, a father once. But, nah. I wouldn't know how to raise a kid. I'd just mess them up. Like father, like son, I guess.
So can anyone become a keeper, no matter the age?
Well, no, of course not. We're not priestesses of the All-Mother. A woman can be an old crone and still devote herself to the All-Mother. But a man's got to have some fight left in him to be a keeper. Old enough to hold a sword, young enough to not break under its weight. We all got different roles around the keep, sure. But at the core, we're warriors. Don't forget that.
Why the second lighthouse?
If I had a gold coin for every time someone asked me that, I could fund the damn thing myself. Look, it's Camelot's orders. I get paid to follow them, not to question them. If they want to throw money at us to keep up appearances, that's their problem. I'm not about to stop them. See you around.
Oh, Mother have mercy. Not another one. If I let you pass, will you promise not to make any trouble?
I can try.
That's just my luck. Take the post, Tiernan, they told me. You'll be looking after a village full of old farts. That's practically early retirement, they said. What a load of crap. There's always something. If it's not the deck falling apart, it's a refugee running around biting people.
Has anything else happened?
No, not really. Fortunately.
You said a refugee's biting people?
Well, to be fair, he only bit one person. But it was a keeper. I know Mahone can be a piece of shit sometimes, but gods. Now both of them are sick. And Haber's got no clue what's wrong. Which is the only reason that refugee isn't dead. Yet. So, he's sitting in a cage. His wife's crying all day and everyone's pissed. Meanwhile, I'm stuck in the middle of it all.
Maybe this isn't job for you.
No need to tell me that. But I can't just go back to patrolling the walls. I'd be a laughingstock. I'd rather sit here and hope everything works itself out. I mean, everyone's gotta die someday, right? So whether it's me or them, at least my problems will be over.
What happened to the deck?
The deck? Nah, just old wood. Honestly, it's the least of my problems. But I've got no way to fix it. Dara's always busy with his lighthouse, and every time I try to do it myself, someone else needs me for something. I can't even sneak out to the tavern because last time some rich bint started complaining that everything here smells of fish. That's a seaside village. What else would it smell of?
I can help you fix the deck.
You do that? That would be a huge relief. Well, maybe not huge. There are bigger problems. A dull axe and beds. Well, beds don't feel like they're plotting your murder while you sleep.
I wouldn't have guessed you were into furniture.
Not exactly a secret I broadcast. Most folks see me as Tiernan the Grumbler. But hey, we've all got something that keeps us sane, right? Mine just happens to be daydreaming about nicer chairs.
Tell me more about this rich bint you mentioned.
Oh, she's a real piece of work, that one. Her name's Lady Elisa. Something. I don't remember. She came here with her husband. Poor man. I never heard him get a word in. You know, sometimes I regret not getting married. But if I had a wife like her, I'd just end up being a keeper all over again.
Oh, look at this. That means I'm gonna have my house. Interesting.
Surviving out there. Do you need help settling in, dear? This isn't the best day to start a new life in this place, but we don't always get to choose, do we? What a nasty business with that boy. I'm almost glad my Morris isn't here for this. He's such a bleeding heart.
What happened with that boy?
Oh, I'm not sure, love. I don't move around too much. I just heard about that fight with the road keeper, and now poor Cole's locked up in a cage. Him and Patrice make such a lovely young couple. They remind me of Morris and me when we were their age.
What's it like living here?
At first, it wasn't so bad. But now it gets worse every day. We just sit around here, doing nothing. Don't get me wrong, we have food, we have a roof over our heads, and we're grateful for that. But no one trusts us enough to let us do any work. None of us wants to be a freeloader, as they call us. I wouldn't mind a task or two to earn my keep and to take my mind off my troubles. I might not be all hale and hearty, but I've still got 2 good hands, which is more than you can say about some of the codgers living here.
I'm not a refugee, I just have some business here.
I'm sorry, dear. I hope I didn't offend you. I'm still not used to all this. You see, I was born in Little Grove and thought I would live out the rest of my life there, working in the orchards in the mornings and drinking warm cider with my beloved in the evenings. We never wanted to see the world. I guess sometimes the world doesn't give us a choice, does it?
What happened to you?
Little Grove was raided by bandits, a local gang that had been terrorizing the area for months, growing in numbers with each raid. Their leader, Bald Kate they called her, somehow got hold of a branding iron used to mark outlaws. After pillaging a village, she'd brand some men and women of her choosing. That way, Kate made sure nobody would ever help them, and that they'd have no choice but to turn to her if they wanted to survive. My Morris used to be a skilled tanner. I guess that's why she picked him.
Did he stay with the bandits?
Yes, I asked him to. He wanted to run with me, but he was still feverish after the branding. I was worried he'd die on the road. Now, I don't have many kind words for Kate, but she doesn't like her efforts to go to waste. As long as he stayed, she'd make sure he was healed. I hated leaving him there, and I hate to think of what she's making him do, but I hope he's at least still alive.
Did you ask for a keeper's help?
Of course I did, right after I got here. The only answer I got was that they're aware of the bandit problem and are dealing with it. But I've heard rumours that the gate is always shut and the keepers are forbidden to leave. So, I've got no hope there.
You didn't stay with him?
Look at me, love. I'm just an old woman. I've lived a quiet life, never learned any skills Kate would find useful. She has no need for useless mouths to feed. And Morris, well, he didn't want me to stay anyway. He said we'd find our way back to each other, but I'm starting to fear we'll have to wait for another life.
Do you know where the camp is?
From what I've heard, they decided to stay in Little Grove for a while, drinking my cider to the last drop, no doubt. Not like they have to worry about the authorities. The only ones we saw were the Camelot tax collectors that came by once a year. Other than that, not a uniform in sight since I was a little girl.
I'll keep an eye out for your husband.
Oh, Mother bless you, my dear. That's all I could ask for. Please, let me know as soon as you learn anything.
Sure.
Take care of yourself, love.
What's left for someone like me? Didn't think anyone would stop by. I've already told you I'm not going anywhere. If you want something from me, then... Oh, I don't know you. I'm Dugald. You're not one of us. And you're not a local either.
You could have chosen a better time to come here. Kind of poor ambience, if you know what I mean.
Well, at least we have a roof over our heads.
How did you end up here?
My boy Frank and I came here with the others. We left our village because... we had to. Well, I had to. But Frank is a good lad, so he came with me. I took him in, you know.
Found the poor sod at the mill, sleeping in the hay. He was chilled to the bone back then, but I could tell he'd be a strong lad once he thawed out. He used to help out on the farm.
Do you know where he comes from?
He's young, but he already has a couple of tattoos. Tribal ones. Means he must have been cast out of the Del Rita.
At first, the people in our village gave him dirty looks. But then they realized he wasn't a bandit.
He was a good, hard-working kid. Then they started to treat him as one of their own.
Did he tell you why he was cast out?
Frang is a quiet boy, and he doesn't talk much about himself. I feel like those days with the Reader are long buried for him. Almost like he never lived them.
Where are you from?
Roscree. Few shacks and a small field of grain. I was a miller back there. My daughter married a good, hard-working man. Eventually, I gave them the mill.
Still helped around, but wanted to let the young folks learn how to work there. Then this kid, Frang, came along. Everything seemed to be going pretty well.
And?
Of course, something happened. Life here can't just be bearable. Oh no. Everything has to get screwed up somehow. That's the way it goes in this cursed land. My dear Trina and her bairn. They got caught by a weird beast. I started to hit the bottle and finally, my son-in-law kicked me out. I left Roscree. And so did Fran. He says he has some kind of life debt. And he won't leave me alone until one of us drops dead.
I'm sorry about your daughter and grandkid.
I'm sorry too.
How's life here?
To be honest, I'm a bit confused about what's going on. Usually it was me who yelled at everyone, and now I feel like a drudge. And this nasty thing with Col. Poor lad. Shouldn't have ended like that. He and Beatrice got along very well. Let me tell you something. When I saw all these wrinklies around here, I thought this place would suit me. But then all this shit happened. I suspect we won't stay here long.
You've come to put me in the cage.
What?
Sorry. Just a bit of grim humor. You know, about what's been happening here. Such a mess, isn't it? Cola's alright, and Beatrice, what a shame. Such a fine girl. Anyway, I'm Ellis. Nice to meet you. What do you need?
Tell me about yourself.
Well, I'm Ellis. Goldsmithing is my life and passion. And between you and me, I feel like I'm losing my mind without it. When I hold tools and make beautiful things, it feels like I can bring some light into this wretched world. I wish I was somewhere where I could just do some goldsmithing, but I'm a bit scared. So, here I am, sitting on my ass in some village listening to waves and the screams of seagulls and old men. Nothing to write home about, even if I still had one.
Blacksmith asked me if I was a goldsmith. What were you doing before you joined other refugees?
I was working as a goldsmith in a group of, let's call them, business people. I was once traveling with a caravan that got attacked by him. Their chief was a smart guy. The moment he heard I was a goldsmith, he knew what to do with me. He got me converting all the jewelry they stole into new pieces. Do you want to hear what I did once?
Sure.
We went to Timberwall. The gang wanted to rob some merchant's house. We holed up in a seedy tavern and waited for the right moment. Then, one night they broke in, came back with a whole load of trinkets. Beautiful stuff. The moment I saw it all, I instantly knew what I wanted to craft. They gave me a couple of days. I tinkered for a bit, and then, ta-da! Brand new merchandise. After I was finished, I dressed myself all nice, went to that merchant's house and went, "Good morning, kind sir. I'm a goldsmith. My work is renowned in all of Camelot. Would you be interested in what I have to offer?" You know what he said? Of course I would. That nonce bought the entire lot, even though I inflated the prices like a street peddler. And when I came back, the others couldn't believe their eyes. I thought I was gonna keel over. I miss that.
The sun doesn't rise the same anymore.
Something happened. Frang listens.
You're not from here, are you?
I'm not from anywhere. Frang is attached to nowhere. I found a home with Dugald. I owe him a life debt. Frang was never a dull reader. Not without a name. Without a name, you are nobody in the tribe. Like me. And if that lasts too long, you must leave. I left and became Frang. Frang. A name, and not a name.
What happened?
Nothing happened to Frang. A stray, taken in by a miller. That's all.
Would you like to be a Dalrita?
Frang cannot be a Dalriada. His mother was. But the tribe decided that he was not worthy of a name. That is why he is not of the tribes.
Do you know a Dalriata named Conqueror?
Conquer. Wolf. Strong. Important name. Not seen in the south for a long time. Must be dead.
What do you think of the Horns of the South?
A place without a leader. As I see it, it will finally fall apart. One way or another.
How do you know?
There are no tales about a place that survived without a strong leadership. And it's not about kings, nobleshites, or chieftains. Titles are just words that pull the wool over a man's eyes. What's needed is a strong soul with a strong name. And their names mean as much as Frang's, which is to say, nothing.
What about the people you came here with?
Now they're a bit like Frang. Strays with no home. Matrice is strong, despite what happened with Cole. Ellis. He's funny. I like him. Rawson. I know nothing about her. And Dugald. A man who became Frang's father. He has my gratitude.
How about the people living here?
Don't bother.
Have you met keepers before?
Frang never met the keepers, but the unnamed boy did. Once, a few of them, many years ago, we fought. The unnamed boy survived even though he showed fear. Shouldn't do that.
Why did the unnamed boy fight with the keepers?
The keepers approached the camp of the boy's people. But that past does not belong to Frang. I'm Frang.
Wish I'd stayed asleep.
Yoink.
The sun doesn't rise the same anymore. You need something?
What do you want? To gawk at the beast? Well, I'll have to disappoint you. My Cole is not the monster you all believe him to be.
Something happened?
So you really don't know? If you're not from here, I'm not sure what could have brought you to this hellhole. But you have my sympathies. Just know that Cole isn't like that. Something is poisoning his mind and soul. I don't know what it is, or why it happened to Cole. But now we're all at the mercy of those damned keepers.
Tell me more about what happened.
One evening there was a quarrel between our group, the villagers, and one of the keepers. They'd had a bit too much to drink and let some comments slip. They hurled insults at us, saying there's no place for us here, that we should just get the hell out of here because things are hard for everyone. Hard? Sure. I bet that bunch of wimps wouldn't last a week outside. All they do is sit in that keep of theirs, thinking they're the defenders of justice.
And then?
Well, Cole went mad. I've never seen him like that before. He attacked that keeper and bit him. It was serious, but the keeper survived. If it weren't for the other men from the village, things could have ended very differently. Afterwards, they chained Cole up and locked him in a cage. His condition started to worsen. They said a monster like him doesn't deserve a jail cell. Jail cells are for humans. Bastards.
They didn't kill him on the spot?
Surprising, isn't it? It seems that Quartermaster Fergus banned any kind of vigilante behaviour. And the local healer said he wants to make sure whatever made Cole this way isn't contagious. So as long as that question remains unanswered, we're at a standstill. But honestly, if anything happens to that keeper, I have no doubt Cole will be killed and will be thrown out of the keep.
When did Cole start feeling worse?
This might sound silly, but before we reached the keep, we came near a strange structure. The locals call it the Arch Spire. In the morning, we realized everyone had a strange dream, but it was a little different for each of us. Cole started acting weird after that, and in time, it only got worse.
Did he tell you what his dream was about?
No, only that, well, it didn't make much sense. But he was convinced that something bit him. He kept checking. It must have been some bug. Something changed by the weirdness. That must have caused his fever, his insanity.
Can you describe how the evening went before the night you had the dream?
Well, it was pretty typical. We started a fire and threw some cobwebs into it. Fran brought them back from one of his treks. That boy could always find them somehow. It was our protection from the night and the weirdness. Ellis was on watch that day, but from what he told us, he eventually fell asleep. We were lucky no one slit our throats.
What was your dream about?
I was in a strange place. Dark. Full of fog. Eerie. I was trying to find him. I called out, but no one answered. I was alone in the night, and then I kept falling, and falling, and falling. And then I woke up.
Where was your camp?
We set up camp near the Arch Spire. We hoped that bandits wouldn't dare to venture into a place like that. Well, now I know why we could have been right. With everything that's been happening lately, I'm ready to believe in every strange thing in this world.
You hear me? Do you need anything?
buy something or bugger off. Unless you've already bought from Orla. Then just bugger off.
So you pursue potential customers by being rude?
Pursue potential customers? Listen here, pal. Clearly you don't understand how trading works in a place like this. I've no idea where you come from, but here, it's the potential customer who needs to pursue the vendor. And that vendor decides to sell to them or not. It's the vendor who makes the decision, not the other way around. How many people here do you think are offering to exchange goods for coins? I'll tell you, not bloody many.
You mentioned Orlath.
Yeah, Orla. A woman merchant from the keep. Go on, try giving her your money. I bet she'll just shortchange you and call it a day. She has no wit and no finesse when it comes to trading.
If you say so. So, tell me more about her.
I wouldn't mind knowing that myself. She stole a lucrative business contract out from under me and my family, then made herself at home here. Damn those Timberwall merchants. Everyone's always yammering about Timberwall. Timber this, timber that. Bugger them all. Remember, good business, only with Quanacht. Fair prices, no bullshit.
What contract?
I just told you. A business contract. It's an agreement. Two sides. One sells, the other pays. Sometimes you can also exchange material goods. A barter transaction. But anyway, it fell through. The captain'd rather deal with that woman. Good riddance to him. Well, it's all water under the bridge now.
You're from Kunacht?
Yes, Kunacht. From a merchant family, to be specific. Though I've always wanted to join the Royal Geographers. To chart the uncharted. But I broke my leg. Badly enough that I couldn't travel anymore.
How did you end here?
After the accident, I was stuck at home, sitting on my ass and looking after the books. It was driving me crazy. Not what I wanted from life. When that contract I told you about fell through, I stayed here for a bit. Lost track of time. My brother got worried, so he came looking for me. I told him I'm not going back empty-handed. So he said we might as well do business here then. He helped me set up the shop, then left for home. You've never heard of them? They're a guild of explorers, dating back to the age of legends. They travel across Avalon, documenting all the lost and forgotten places, crawling through hidden caves, discovering old ruins. That's what LSA and I dreamed of, though only one of us got to live it.
Who's Elisei?
Well, a friend from back home. It was a long time ago. We were both snot-nosed kids who didn't know any better. We'd run around Connacht, drawing maps of every corner we could find. And on the farms, LSA insisted on marking every stone in the fields. My mother used to get on my ass for wasting so much paper and charcoal. Good times.
What happened to her?
She got in with the geographers, started running errands for them. Well, it was right after my accident. I might have acted a bit rashly. Said some things I shouldn't have. You know how it goes. We stopped talking, and then she left Connacht. Haven't seen her since.
What was the most unexpected thing about the place?
First thing I did when I arrived was ask the locals what this village is called. And they just said, wait for it, the village. There's also a sunken village nearby.
So I asked them what that one was called, and they said, the Sunken Village. So I asked what it was called before it was flooded, and they told me, the Village. How do you even work with that?
How long have you had your business near the Horns of the South?
Long enough to know what sells. Not that I'd mind having a wider selection of goods, you know. Some more options on offer. But people here don't need much, so what you see is all I have. Then there's the refugees. For now, I guess they're good business. But long term, doubt it. Sooner or later they'll run out of money. They don't have any way to earn it since no one wants them here. They'll get kicked out, or they'll just leave and not come back. But there'll be others around to keep the businesses running, more or less.
What do you want? Who are you?
Bloody hell, look at this! The old place is in a shambles. Bunch of decrepit old coots. They do nothing but shuffle around, stare at walls, and sleep under leaking roofs. Can't even hammer a nail properly. I'm telling you, if I was still working here, this place wouldn't be falling apart. Ah, but I'm not. Ah, shite. I can't even stand to look at it, let alone live here. And who are you? What you want? You another one of Duras freeloaders?
Yeah, the rest sent me.
I bloody knew it. Retirement my arse. It's shit. Never a moment of peace. At least when I was still working, there was always something to do. Now, so, what you want?
Asked me to bring you your medicine.
One day, my boy got it into his stupid head that old Gaban is ill. Bullshit. They're all telling me I should do something about it, or else I'm done for. I'll be dead as a doornail in no time. Ha! Like hell I will. I'm still here, ain't I? I've served my time. I've lived me life. And now you can all kiss my ass. So there.
25%. I'll try it. You don't look so good. Maybe you should do something about it.
Peace and quiet. Good one. I'll only have my peace and quiet when I'm finally dead. And that ain't gonna happen soon. At least when I'm with Finley, I don't need to listen to his nagging. Listen, they wanted Heaver, that healer from the Keep, to come here. He did. They wanted him to look me over. He did. Then he just threw up his hands, mumbled something to himself, and that was it. Hell, I should have been an healer. Wouldn't mind going around being a pain in everyone's arse for a living. These herbs. No idea what they're for. Heber said he doesn't know what's wrong with me, so there's no illness. I'm fit as a fiddle. Ah, good thing that at least the one guy who hangs around, Finley's the name, doesn't nag me all the time.
Dara wants to see you, but he didn't have a pass. I think he cares.
Yeah, right. He'd better focus on his job.
Finley's your caregiver?
Why the sudden interest? Maybe if you bring me a drink, I'll humor you.
Bottoms up. What do you want? Mead, wine? I'll give you wine.
Ah. So, what was your question?
Finley's your caregiver?
Hold on. Finley is not my caregiver. He's my helper at most. Hey, first of all, I'm not a cripple who needs a decrepit dimwit running round after me. Secondly, do you know the problem with having a helper who's mute? He doesn't bloody talk. I mean, it's not all bad. At least I don't have to listen to even more bullshit. He puffs up like a marshmallow every time he tries to say something. But I don't understand shit.
So you're Dara's father.
What's with all the questions? Get me a drink and maybe I'll consider talking.
Again? Sure.
Ah. So, what was your question? That's what he says anyway. But yeah, he's my blood. Eager like me, and look at that bulbous nose. Won't disown what's clearly mine. But I ain't gonna talk with a stranger.
Bro, I just gave you wine. Father and son together in Horns of the South must be rare.
It's like half the blighters here don't have working peckers. Or they've never even touched a woman.
Tell me about your service.
What's got you so nosy? Pour me a drink and I might open up. Ah. So, what was your question? You see, back in the day, being a keeper was a serious business. Now, don't even get me started. You used to come here with a mission, not to run away from your bloody mother. Nowadays, lads get brought here by their own kin when they've had enough of them, or they think the Orns can hide them from the law. No, back in my day there was none of this scum. I came here to serve. My girl cried when I left her, but I've always known this is where I wanted to be. How was I supposed to know she had a bloody bun in the oven? By the time the wean was born, I was already planning the lighthouse's construction.
Dara came here for you?
Heck knows what he came here for. That's not my problem anymore, and I don't stick my nose in anyone else's business.
You went off topic when I asked you about your service.
Getting a bit too interested, aren't you? Bring a drink over, and I might share. Ah, so, I'm starting to like you, stranger. And trust me, it's been a long time since I liked, well, anybody. I liked me brothers in arms back in my glory days. Good lads, every damn one of them. Tough as nails, loyal to a fault. The kind of men you'd want beside you in the darkest holes of Avalon. But they're gone now, all of them. The old captain got it in his head to send us down to rediscover some mouldy tunnels under the keep. Damn fool mission that was. We went in together, but I was the only one to come back out. I can still see all their faces when I close my eyes. A hard loss it was, but I'm still here. Though some days I wonder why.
Tell me about the tunnels.
Why the sudden interest? Maybe if you bring me a drink, I'll humor you.
Man!
Ah. So, what was your question? Those tunnels, right. Well, me and the lads went down there to check if we could repurpose them under the Orns. Damn fool mission that was. But here wasn't just some empty caves. There were monsters, straight out of Age of Legends. Sick stuff. Stuff to get under your skin. Looked like... hell, memories all twisted up now. Like a bloody nightmare mixed with shadows that don't belong. Wanna know more? Speak with Fergus. He's in charge of this shit show now. Now, I propose a toast to those lost souls. This one's on me.
To your brothers in arms.
Peace, you say. Problem is, sometimes I think they never died. They haunt me in my dreams, you know. Bloody bastards. I swear I wanted to go back and retrieve their bodies. But our late captain, like Grindelows piss on his grave, forbade me from going back. But when I drink, I usually pass out, and then I don't remember my dreams. So, I drink. Ah, my brothers deserved better.
Are you taking care of Old Builder? Do you know what's wrong with him? You must know more, since you're so close. Does this have something to do with his son? Does Dara visit him often? Doesn't he have any time to visit Old Man? Did they fight? They did. Was it long time ago? Do you know what it was about? You know them both well. You must know what happened. Was it work related? Was it about Lighthouse? Was it about disability? Something to do with the workers? Will Goban ever tell me about it? Is there anybody else who knows what happened? Could the quartermaster tell me? Could Dara tell me? Thank you. Is there anything I can do for you? Man, I like this guy. Man. That was really cool.
Excuse me, could you get me a clean glass? And I mean clean, not just wiped 3 times with a dirty rag.
Do I look like a bar wench to you?
I'm not sure. I don't mean to say that you peasants all look the same, but you have to understand it's quite difficult for people like me to tell anyone apart in this dreariness. Especially since there seems to be so many people like you here. I thought the South was supposed to be more secluded.
People like you?
My name is Alyssa Murray, and I'm here with my husband, a very important cloth merchant. But surely you must have heard about our family. Not to brag, but we are rather prominent. I am famed amongst Camelot's courtiers for throwing the most magnificent feasts.
Your dress is unique.
Thank you. I designed it myself. I wanted to blend in with the people of the South. The savage tribes, the brave lightkeepers. I wanted to make an homage to them with my new style, and I do believe I've succeeded. I can feel everyone here gazing at me with awe.
I'll try this. Yeah, definitely. Everybody says your dress is exquisite.
Give it a few weeks and everyone here will be trying to copy me. It happens in Camelot all the time. It's almost insufferable.
What are you doing here?
Well, my Duncan is here on business, of course. A very important contract with the Lightkeepers. I decided to accompany him because I have never been to the South, and I've heard so much about its wild, untamed beauty. So far, it's turned out to be terribly dull. And the smell... it's like stale fish and sweat. Hopefully, I don't have to suffer it much longer. Pray, tell me, do you know anyone here who would run a small errand for me?
What kind?
Oh, nothing major. You see, I've had my eye on this beautiful abandoned estate overlooking the sea. It's not very far from here, but it's far enough away from all this rabble. If we stay here for a while, I need a place for myself. You understand that, right? No offense, but I can't keep living in a filthy room at an inn. When I asked the innkeeper to draw me a bath, he brought me a bucket. A bucket! Can you imagine?
Oh no! I don't think I can. That sounds like a terrible ordeal.
Finally, someone sympathetic to my plight. My Duncan has been heartless about it. He just keeps going on about how I was the one who wanted to come here. He told me to deal with it. Can you believe that? The nerve of the man.
Men. True men. Wait, does he know about your plans for the estate?
Well, what he doesn't know can't hurt him, can it? He should be glad that I can take care of myself. I'm not like the other high-born women, sitting around waiting to be handed everything on a silver platter. And besides, he knows better than to say no to me.
Can we get to the point?
Fine. The problem is that the manor appears to have some occupants, not legal ones, mind you, who need to be evicted. Forcibly, if there's no other way. You'll do it for me, won't you, dear? Splendid. I can't wait to start decorating. Maybe something nautical, to go with the sound of the waves crashing on the cliffs? Or do you think that's a trifle trite?
The 1%.
You remember Sewell Firstfoot's tomb? Used to be a popular pilgrimage spot, but ever since the flooding, nobody's been out there.
Yeah, it's a damn shame. The whole place is forgotten, like it never even mattered. Pilgrims stopped coming after the water rose.
You've heard the rumors, right? Some say the Druids caused the flooding. Honestly, I wouldn't put it past them.
I don't know. Druids? Why'd they bother flooding a whole village? What's in it for them?
Yeah, maybe they wanted to keep folks away from something. Or they weren't too fond of Sewell getting all that attention. Druids are a strange lot.
Strange, sure. But flooding a village to stop pilgrims sounds a bit far-fetched to me. Could have been something else entirely.
Doesn't matter much now. The tomb, the village, it's all gone. Nothing but water and memories left.
Aye, a place lost to the depths, and with it, a piece of our history.
You seen all the refugees coming from the nearby villages? They're trying to get away from the bandits and the weirdness.
Aye, I've seen 'em. Can't blame 'em for wanting some safety. With bandits and the weirdness creeping closer, who wouldn't be scared?
There may be, but I don't trust strangers. They could be bringing trouble with them. Never know what kind of folk you're letting in.
You're always suspicious. They're just trying to survive, same as the rest of us. Besides, where else would they go?
Speaking of the refugees, you hear about that one Cole? Looks like he's ill or something.
Aye, I heard. Poor lad's in rough shape. But thank the All-Mother it's not the Red Death. We couldn't deal with that here.
Still don't sit right with me. Sick folks in a crowded place? It's a risk, is.
Maybe, but what are we gonna do? Turn them away? We've all got our burdens to carry.
You see that? Not one, but two noble ladies in a tavern tonight. That's a rare sight around here.
Aye, I saw 'em. You don't see their kind much in places like this. Makes you wonder what brings 'em down here.
One's Lady Elaine, a scholar from Farshire. Thought about talking to her, but I'd probably just make an ass of myself.
Elaine, eh? Yeah, she's known for her smarts. Better keep your mouth shut around her, unless you want to feel about as sharp as a blunt axe.
And the other one, Lady Elisa. Not as smart as Elaine, but she's certainly posh. Got the airs of royalty without the smarts to back it up.
Ha! Elisa, yeah. She's got the looks, but don't expect her to be cracking any books. Doesn't need to. Not with that Duncan by her side. Though from what I've seen, they don't seem to like each other all that much.
Yeah, I've noticed. They sit together but act like strangers. Makes you wonder why they even bother.
Probably all for show. I reckon Duncan's got his own problems, but Elisa, she's too wrapped up in herself to notice.
You see that? Not one, but two noble ladies in a tavern tonight. That's a rare sight around here.
Aye, I saw 'em. You don't see their kind much in places like this. Makes you wonder what brings 'em down here.
One's Lady Elaine, a scholar from Farshire. Thought about talking to her, but I'd probably just make an ass of myself.
Elaine, eh? Yeah, she's known for her smarts. Better keep your mouth shut around her, unless you want to feel about as sharp as a blunt axe.
And the other one, Lady Elisa. Not as smart as Elaine, but she's certainly posh. Got the airs of royalty without the smarts to back it up.
Ha! Elisa, yeah. She's got the looks, but don't expect her to be cracking any books. Doesn't need to.
Hello, child. You look competent enough. I can see that you're not of noble blood. Oh, no need to tell me that. I've tutored the children of aristocrats from all over Avalon. Fortunately for you, my opinion of them is not particularly high. Oh, and you don't look like one of the locals. Are you a visitor? Or an adventurer?
Who are you?
You can talk. Now, I'm sure we'll get along. My name is Lady Elaine. I oversee the Farshire Library, the greatest collection of books in this part of Avalon.
Farshire?
By the All-Mother. Don't tell me you don't know what Farshire is. The largest duchy in the middle of the island, with the wise Lady Kincaid in power, who has a hold over the entire territory. Nothing? Oh, really?
Let's say I can't remember.
Farshire is one of the first duchies on Avalon. It is a beautiful land with lush fields, forests rich in game, and most importantly, the Wordstone mines in the west, the primary source of our wealth. Well, at least that's how I remember it. Now it's a mere shadow of its former glory. I know, child. I know. Everyone was surprised. Camelot turned up their noses at this for years. But after Lord Kincaid died and Aidan, Lady Kincaid's son, disappeared, the nobles of Farshire decided she could stay on the throne. Even if Aidan had been alive, she would still be ruling as a regent until he came of age. But between you and me, he wasn't a very bright boy. So she would have been ruling until her death anyway. Oh, we're lucky to have her. Difficult times require determined leaders.
Difficult times?
Worse than ever. Oh, The wordness is thickening, and the roads are getting dangerous and unpredictable. That's why I'm here, wandering Avalon looking for solutions. If I don't do this, who will,
Is there nobody who can help you?
Oh, do you mean a family? Oh, I've never had time for such trifles. No suitor was ever more interesting than a good book, nor did any of them smell better either. And I've raised enough of other people's children to never wish for my own.
What do you need?
Oh, surprising. I'm looking for someone who will help me find a certain artifact. So, are you interested, child?
I need some details.
I came to the Horns of the South because I found a fascinating book. It referred to a certain object, a figure most likely, which has the ability to dispel the wordness like a menhir can. Apparently, it can be found on the ship called Andraste, which sank over 100 years ago somewhere in this area. However, when I asked those nincompoops about it, they just laughed at me. They said that the Andraste wasn't carrying anything of value, and even if it was, they wouldn't freeze their butts off in those chilly waters.
Tell me.
The Last Voyage of the Andraste by Elvis the Lightkeeper. He was one of the more notable keepers. In his waning years, he became an adjutant to Captain Lex. But it's best if you read it yourself. You can read, can't you? But just be very careful. This is a very rare publication. Read it very carefully, and after you're done, come to me, and I'll tell you more. A deal?
Fine.
And they say young people don't want to learn anything. Come on, chop, 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 get to reading.
Okay. It was not a good place, especially not for humans. The odd instruments used for God know what, the signs written in strange language, and what disturbing figure. To this day, the mere memory of it makes me shiver. And to think that all of this was, and maybe still is, lurking so close to the Horns of the South. If you ask me, they should bury the entrance to that mine and seal it up forever. I tried to convince Captain Lex not to take anything from those accursed chambers, but he wouldn't listen. The four-armed figure didn't look like all much to me, but I could see how alluring it was to the captain. It reminded me of those strange menhirs I heard about from the inland villagers, only not so impressive in stature. On the captain's orders, we threw the cargo into the hold and steered towards the Isle of the Dead and its island asylum. The Isle of the Dead. Writing these words and reflecting on everything that happened afterward, I realized how cruel that name is. I was wrenched from my musings by roaring sound, almost like a clap of thunder. It knocked me off my feet, flinging me at the mast like a ragdoll. It took a while for me to realize that something had hit the bottom of the ship, something huge. Water flooded the deck, people were running around screaming, well, at least those who hadn't already thrown overboard earlier. I had no idea what was happening. Did Denali ram us into some rocks? Then came another blow, this time portside. That was when I saw her. Every sailor in the South has heard stories about terror from the deep. And there she was. Her scaly body gleamed before my eyes. Only for a moment, but it was sight I will never forget as long as I live. The ship was sinking, yet could not stop staring at the spot where I had seen the sea monster. A moment later, a piece of a mast hit me in the head, and I lost consciousness. To this day, I do not know whether I owe my survival to the will of the gods, a twist of fate, or a whim of a monster. Why me? Was I chosen to tell this story? If so, then That is all I shall do, and I humbly offer my thanks to forces I cannot comprehend for giving me a chance to fulfill this task.
And? Have you read The Last Voyage of the Andraste?
Yeah?
Oh, splendid, splendid. Oh, it's an excellent book, don't you think? Now, let's test your reading comprehension. According to Elvis the Lightkeeper, in the mine near the Horns of the South, they found something that they took with them on the ship. Do you remember what that was, child?
A figure.
That's right. This is the artifact I'm looking for. One that might be vital to repelling the wordness. According to Elvis's description, the figure is smaller than a menhir, and light enough that they were able to carry it to the ship without any trouble. Were it small, it would probably have been placed in Captain Lex's quarters instead of in the hold. I've estimated it should be about 1 meter tall. Good. Next question. What was the Andraste's destination?
Island Museum.
Correct. Be very careful with what I'm about to tell you. But some believe that the Red Priests are dedicated to studying the wordness instead of the Red Death. Captain Lex must have thought they'd pay him generously for a four-dweller artifact. Last question. What sank the Andraste?
A sea monster.
Yes. You did well, child. I can see that you were paying attention. According to Elvis, the Andraste was sunk by the legendary terror from the deep. But if you want to know more, ask your keeper friends. They should be much better informed. Now, all you need to do is find the wreck of the Andraste and retrieve the mysterious figure.
Where exactly did she sink?
Oh, if only I knew. It must have happened somewhere on the way between the Horns of the South and the Island Asylum. Oh, but where exactly? Fortunately, I know something that could help us. In the Horns of the South Museum, there are some extremely interesting books and documents lying around and collecting dust. Can you imagine having such treasures at hand and choosing to completely ignore them? Oh, barbarians. Among them, you'll find the Andraste's logbook, which was saved by Elvis. I've read it, of course, but I know nothing about sailing. I'm sure such a competent child as yourself will handle it much better. Go to the Horns of the South Museum, read the logbook, and then tell me whether you managed to locate the wreck of the Andraste.
I found it, but sure. We'll see. What does the quest say? Okay.
Who are you? Another refugee? This place is already crawling with your lot. It's like a Camelosian privy after a feast. In my day, you only saw old familiar faces round here. And maybe we didn't all love each other, but a local is a local. It was easier to share with others, even when you didn't have much.
I'm not a refugee.
That's so. Fine. Whatever you say. But yeah, I could see that you don't really look like one of them. Just passing through then. Shame it had to be now. Not so long ago, we'd have sat down and had a drink with the rest of the lads. Now I come here alone.
Anything interesting in the village?
Do you see anything interesting around here? There's this tavern, and plenty of fish in the sea. decent place to retire, but not much else. Well, if you're looking to sightsee, try the sunken village. Just don't let the locals tear you to shreds.
How was the keep when you served?
Orderly. No damn rabble begging at the gates and eating us at a house and home. Yeah, back then, sure, civilians came and went. But housing them, feeding them? We had a rule. No freeloading. But I guess that went out the window, along with our pride.
What do you mean, you've lost your pride?
It used to mean something to be a keeper. You could come in off the streets and keepers would make a man out of you. Now, bunch of spoiled lordlings sold off to Brandon by their daddies for a bag of gold. Treated like they're made of glass. Soft. Weak. The lot of them. What's there to be proud of? You watch your damn mouth. We did everything we could. I've said it before. We need a whole damn army to keep this region in check. And besides, how do you know these leeches are even telling the truth? Every village wiped out. Just like that? Give me a break. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
What's this about refugees?
You asking me? They came here and made themselves at home. I ain't talking to any of them.
Why are you sitting here on your own?
I don't know. But you could put something on the table, and then maybe we can talk.
Alcohol. Have a moonshine.
Thank you. That's better. We used to come here, the three of us. Me, Berg, and Fedley. But lately, something's gotten into Berg, and it all kinda fell apart. Hell knows what happened. One day he just stopped talking to us. We went to his house to get him, but he only cursed a blue streak at us. Say, mate, do you feel like talking to an old obla? I feel bad for him, but I've got no more patience. And Finley? Let's just say Finley's no good at this stuff.
I'll speak with Berg.
Now you're talking. Ever since he got so maudlin, Berg usually sits alone by the sea. Let me know what's wrong with him.
Drinking buddies.
Oi, Noel! What if I pulled Excalibur from that stone, but it broke, but only at the tip? Would I still get to be king, or not?
You're so daft, Randall. Some magical lass living in a lake gave the king the sword when he broke his own bashing forearm skulls.
So, the one in the stone, what's that called? It's not Excalibur, is it?
Nah, the one in the stone was called, don't know. Sword in the stone, I guess.
Sod it, whatever. So, if I pulled the sword in the stone from the, stone, and it broke, but only a little, would I still get to be king?
What? No, you'd have to pull out all of it. Only the one who pulls out the sword gets to be king, yeah? Not the one who pulls out a bit of the sword.
Wait, but if you have a sword and it breaks, do you tell everyone that you have a sword or that you have a piece of the sword? Besides, you can always take it to the smith and he can fix a new tip.
But if he fixes a new tip, it won't be the same sword.
Are you off your knocker? How's it not the same sword? So, what is it now? A ploughshare?
A shit share.
Listen, just listen to me. You've got it all wrong. You've got a sword, right? And then the tip breaks off, so you attach a new one, right? But then, let's just say it breaks again.
That's one shitty sword you have there.
Now, listen to me. Now, damn it. It breaks off. So, you fix it with a new piece again. And then it happens again. And again. And again. Until you finally get yourself a whole new blade from the smith. So get this. If the whole blade was replaced, is it still the same sword?
Well, no, it isn't.
There you have it. You just need to be, what's the word? Rational.
Fine. Now let's have a drink. My throat's drier than a priestess purse.
See, now you sound rational.
Beer from Kunacht, wine from Farshire, moonshine, only local, the best there is. And fish, lots and lots of fish. What's your poison?
Tell me about this place.
You mean the old pier? Well, first of all, it's not that old. Brennan was already the captain when it was built. Why is it called that? Don't know. Probably because of all those old folks around. A lot has been happening here lately. Plenty of new faces. I definitely can't complain. I'm finally running a proper tavern. People come and go and the regulars drink as usual, as it should be. Daddy will be proud.
Did your father also run a tavern?
Hey, not here, obviously. You won't see your old man here unless your name's Dara. Mine sent me here because he hoped I'd make something out of my life. He never wanted me to pour a beer and look at the same tired mugs day in, day out, but as it turns out, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I got mauled by a weird beast during a hunt, and after that, the captain decided I wasn't any good for active service, so he sent me here. I was bored out of my mind, and since there wasn't one here, I decided to start a tavern. At least I'm not as bored anymore.
Some time ago, one of the keepers left some important documents here.
No, I don't recall anything like that.
He said he left them after the last drinking bout.
No, listen. I don't know what's going on, but I doubt any of the keepers had anything important on them. Half of them couldn't tell the quartermaster's seal from a pile of horse dung someone stepped on.
He said they should be still at the stale lamb.
But that means... no. Impossible. What if... Holy moonshine. I remember. Sigibald. It was Sigibald who left those documents behind. I've no idea how you found out about it. Sigi. He's dead. Taken by a fever.
I met him. He asked me to get the documents back.
Aye, of course I have. I didn't just throw them in some cabinet. I was afraid they'd fall into the wrong hands. He was a good man. I wouldn't get rid of my only memento of him. Here, after what you said, I assume you'll make good use of them. Even though I'm still not sure what to think about it. Things are getting weirder and weirder in our beloved Avalon.
Tell me more about Sigibald.
Well, he died like he lived, with a tankard in his hand. The boys always said Sigi was a friend worth 5 others. And he was. He was a prankster like no other. Once, he slipped a rotten egg into the quartermaster's dinner. Never a dull moment with him, that's for sure.
I need to go?
No problem. Listen, if by some miracle you really talked with Sigibald, please, give him my warm regards. I don't understand anything anymore.
Sigibald, I never thought there would come a time in my life when I would write this letter until now. I believe that all bad things that happened since you left were caused by your poor decisions. I also blamed you for losing Arian. It's funny how things change over time. Seems that I've changed too. I don't even know if this stupid letter will ever reach you. If it does, I'm sorry. And I accept your apologies. Ross. All of this is stealing? Hey, my stash. Okay, I'll put everything here. Repairing the deck, drinking buddies. Love the music. Okay. Is this competition? What if I get bigger fish? Oh no, I beg you, please don't take everything we own. We may be refugees, but that doesn't mean our belongings are for everyone to take. Too late! Notice, right shoe was found on the beach. Please pick it up at the tavern, but bring proof that you have the left one. Repair. I need 50 wood. Okay. Drinking buddies. I probably need to wait till morning. Don't I? Well, let's chill. Let's talk. Did you know Sewell personally?
Sewell. He was the first to set foot on Avalon, not me. He decided that if anything were to attack us in this strange land, he would shield me and take the first blow himself. I remember loyalty. A fierce, unwavering loyalty. To me and to Avalon. He must have been someone I trusted deeply. Perhaps as we move forward, more memories of him will come back to me. For now, I only hope his loyalty wasn't in vain.
Tell me what the Horns of the South were like in your time.
Ah, the Horns of the South. The crown jewel of these lands. We had barely laid the foundations of Tainted Grail when Seawall and his men had already built a lighthouse, eager to guide our ships to them. He always had a competitive spirit. Of course, it helped that he took every sailor from the homelands with him, along with a handful of knights, so they could learn from one another. And thus, the Keepers of the South were formed. I decreed that every sworn keeper would stand as an equal to a Knight of the Round Table. I doubt they still honor that law. But I am glad to see the keepers grown. In my time, there was only a lighthouse and barracks.
This King's Road has clearly seen better days.
I suppose it has. A pity it has become a hunting ground for bandits. But do not worry, my friend. Let us walk this path and make me whole again. I will restore this island to the glory it deserves, the King's Road included.
Tadgan asked me to speak with you. He said something's gotten into you.
Ha! Guess he's got nobody else to get pissed with. Finley never liked drinking alone with him. Tighdon tends to get into one of his moods. And? What? That's all? You're bothering me just because that old rascal is sitting alone in the inn with nobody to natter to. You people, bugger off.
Quickly gonna take a peek what's here. Aha. Developers knew that somebody's gonna try that place to check it out. And they put that there. And I'm thankful. A shrine. Animal component. I don't have any on me. Keeper's tag. Quest. Okay, that's all better than mine. But they don't want to be too heavy. I'll come back when I have some stuff. I mean, I have it in my storage, it's just... Wooden villa. Hey! Dreaming of owning property by the sea? Only 20,000. Interesting, okay. There's the home. Now I just need money. Tadgan told me about you and Berg. Why aren't you drinking together anymore? I need you to be more precise. Do you know what happened to Berg? You do. Did something happen recently? So it's something from his past? Where can I learn more about what happened? Will Tadgan tell me more? So I assume I can learn more outside the horns? Can you point me in the right direction? Visit place on the map. Okay. So I need wood. Hey, this gave me a recipe. Nice.
So much for a secluded cave keeping visitors away. Seems like there's no one on this island to hide in peace. Ah well, since you're here, I have an important question. Do you have any food?
Who are you?
I promise to answer all of your questions, no matter how annoying or asinine they might be. But first, do you have any food?
Food?
Oh dear. Yes, food. That stuff you put in your mouth to make sure your body doesn't wither and die, you know? Fish, meat, vegetables, bread. Oh, some bread would be especially nice. But I'll take anything, really.
Here you go. Bread.
Thanks. I'll be forever indebted to you. But don't expect much. The only payment I can offer you is seashells, or, you know, access to an infinite well of ancient druidic wisdom. I'd rather you choose wisdom. I threw out my collection of seashells a few days ago after I stepped on them with my bare feet. Much better. Time for a nap. Oh, except you're still here. Oh no, don't tell me you still have questions.
Who are you?
My name is Drest, and I am the local hermit.
Uh-huh.
I don't understand your skepticism. I live alone in a cave, collect seashells, and occasionally talk to crabs. What else could I be?
Now, I'm just guessing here. A druid?
But didn't you know? There are no more druids. The mob rounded them all up, stuffed them into a giant wicker man, and lit a fire. Their screams could barely be heard over the roaring flames, but the stench of the burning flesh easily overwhelmed the smell of blazing wicker. Its glow painted the sky in reds and yellows for the entire night.
Sounds like you were there.
Don't be silly. How could I have been there if I'm here now?
When did it happen?
Some years ago? I'm not sure. I don't remember. Can we change the subject? I'm sure there are more interesting things we could be talking about.
Oh, really? What are you doing here?
Well, I live here, obviously.
Why?
Why not? It's a perfectly good cave, albeit a bit drafty and damp. Well, it could be better, to be honest, but we can't all live in mansions, can we?
How did you get here?
The same way you did, I presume.
Are you ever going to give me a straight answer?
I'm giving you truthful answers. That's all you should ever hope for.
A friend found an ancient druidic scroll. Can you tell me more about it?
Oh, you know what would be nice? A bath. I do miss baths.
You live by the sea. You can take as many baths as you want.
I suppose when someone says they miss the taste of roast pork, you tell them to go lick a pig. Anyway, show me the scroll. Yes, I see. Well, you should definitely follow the ritual. Just make sure you do everything exactly as it is written. I'm sorry, I can't tell you anymore, but it is essential that you discover it for yourself. Revealing the details would spoil the effect.
That doesn't sound suspicious at all.
The pursuit of knowledge often requires taking great risks. Now, off you hop. The ritual awaits.
So that was the light at the shore that the guy mentioned. I'll take all of that to sell. Keep her tag. I'll take all of that to sell. Druidic mask. Full druid set. Increases mana regen. You know what? I like that. I like this. Gem of Stamina. Multiplies mana regeneration. Armor relic. I wonder if he will regen his health, or does he just have a leash? That rock flew too close, not gonna lie. It's getting dark. I don't know if I want to fight this guy during nighttime. Spear of an ancient hero. Give me the loot. I love loot. Fast travel. Nice.